It's wild how if you protest in support of innocent Palestinians, you can go to jail. But if you're a neo-Nazi group that stands outside of a synagogue screaming anti-Semitic slurs, well, that's your freedom of speech.
A small group of neo-Nazis held a protest over the weekend right by Temple Emmanuel in North Dallas. Social media posts showed them across the street. They were yelling their anti-Semitic rhetoric, and police were called. Fox 4's Rebecca Butcher joins us now with more. Rebecca.
Well, Heather, those who attend Temple Emmanuel say that seeing a swastika flag right across the street Saturday was shocking and disturbing. Dallas police responded. It's not what gatherers at Temple Emmanuel there for a service Saturday morning expected or wanted to see. A man holding a Nazi flag right across the street. Images like this one posted to Reddit circulated online.
It was disturbing to see how...
If you can be arrested for protesting in support of Palestinian people for supposedly protesting in support of a hate group, shouldn't Nazis automatically be arrested for protesting in support of a hate group?
How brazen this display of hatred was.
Temple Emmanuel on Hillcrest Road in North Dallas, just north of Northwest Highway, declined on-camera interviews, but released a statement online calling the demonstration disturbing, saying 5 apparent neo-Nazis, one carrying a swastika flag and one using a microphone, positioned themselves across the street from the temple. The synagogue added the group stayed for about an hour and left without trying to enter onto the property. Joel Schweitzer is with the American Jewish Committee and attends Temple Emmanuel.
When I see that, I think about my...
It's weird how you can be arrested for supposedly being anti-Semitic while not being arrested for actually being anti-Semitic. Is the United States actually trying to stop anti-Semitism because they do nothing about neo-Nazis while arresting people wanting to stop a genocide by a government?
My daughter going into work at Sunday school where she teaches art every week. I'm proud of her for being so proudly Jewish, and I'm proud of being in a community where we can be aware of our surroundings but remain proud and steadfast in our expressions of Judaism.
In an email, the Dallas Police Department says officers were called to the protest and that the group left the location when they arrived. Police say they committed no crimes. Dallas police also say they constantly monitor and share intelligence regarding any potential threats.
I bet if people were to protest in support of Palestinian people, that the Dallas police would charge them with a hate crime and start arresting people.
To events, groups, or infrastructure in the city. Schweitzer says since the Hamas and Israel war broke out, anti-Semites and Islamophobes have been emboldened by the acceptance of hate.
And I think when people see tensions escalate in the Middle East, it becomes an easy excuse to unleash their hatred of Jews.
I asked Schweitzer, was he surprised by Saturday's display?
Shocked by the brazenness of it.
You're obviously not in the United States long enough to understand that Nazis do this all the time, and not just against Jewish people, but they will march against gay people, black people, Mexican people, everybody they hate, and they're still allowed to do this because it's their First Amendment right. Yet when people support protest in support of Palestinians, they're arrested for supposedly being a hate group.
You know, this is a place where people come to celebrate their Judaism, to enjoy the company of others on the Sabbath, on Shabbat.
Schweitzer shares what he believes is a proper response to the neo-Nazi message of hate.
I would encourage the Jewish community to remain proud and vigilant at the same time. I think it is so important right now at a time when both anti-Semitism and Islamophobia have spiked that our communities can turn to and count on law enforcement.
Right, let's count on law enforcement, officers that also support anti-Semitism and racism and stuff. Hilarious.
And in an additional statement, Temple Emmanuel's senior rabbi David Stern said in part, it is obviously deeply disturbing as incidents of anti-Semitism have risen dramatically across the country to walk out of Sabbath worship and see a Nazi flag. We saw what showed up on the other side of the street. Now it's time to show up in word, faith, and deed on our side of the street. Temple Emmanuel also said in their online post earlier this weekend that their security is going to remain on high alert. Steve?